Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very first episode of the Horror Basement. Now, this video serves three purposes: introducing you to me, the channel, and the first series we'll be doing. My name is Shane, and I'll be your host. Now, I've been collecting horror movies since before I was legally allowed to purchase and own them. And I figure, what better way to take up my free time than sitting in my basement and talking to my cell phone about whether I liked these movies or not. So essentially, on this channel, I'll be discussing with you horror movies ranging back to the silent era, like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Nosferatu, up to the most recent horror movies that have recently been released, and everything in between. And what better way to start that off than this first series that I've been planning, which is on this, which is the Horror Classics 50 Movie Pack, which was released back in 2006 by Mill Creek Entertainment. Now, if you want to purchase this for yourself and follow along with us while I do these reviews, you can buy this from Mill Creek's official website for about $30. Or you can look elsewhere online and pay anywhere from $3.50 to 300 euros on whatever weird German website I found that was selling it for that much. Now this, as the title would have you believe, is set of 50 movies ranging from 1920 up through 1968. The earliest being the 1920 version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the latest being Night of the Living Dead, which they were able to get for this compilation, probably because it was still in public domain, because they messed up the copyright when they first initially released the film. Now, in this collection, you see a lot of names that, if you're a big horror fan, you'll recognize. They have Lon Chaney, both junior and senior, Boris Karloff, and Bela Lugosi both make multiple appearances, and Vincent Price. Now, of those 4 or 5 actors, that pretty much gives you about 20 of the movies you'll get in this pack. And the other 30 are a little bit more of a mixed bag. You know, you have a lot of the silent classics, like it has the original Phantom of the Opera, Nosferatu, the original Hunchback of Notre Dame. And then there's stuff that's a little bit more on the schlocky side, like they get a lot of like B movies from the 50s and 60s to kind of pad it up to 50. And some of these legitimately aren't even horror movies. Like, I've watched a few of them just in my own free time. I haven't actually watched all 50 of these myself, and this series will pretty much be my excuse to do so. And some of them are not great horror movies, and some of them aren't even horror movies. Like, there are a couple comedies in this, and a lot of these are on the older side. So if you're like me and your obsession with horror movies kind of started with like the slashers of the 80s and late 70s, this might take some getting used to, but I've found that going back to the earliest days of the genre really gives you an appreciation for the films as a whole. Now, of these movies, 47 of them, like I said, they are old, so they are in black and white. But 3 of them are in color, and those are The Terror, Monster from a Prehistoric Planet, and my favorite, Swamp Women. Now, for the next 6 months or so, I will be covering 2 of these a week, just releasing them in one video, so essentially 2 reviews in one video. So it'll take about 25 weeks to get through the whole thing. And not only that, but I will be doing other movies as I go along. But I don't plan to watch these in the order in which I'd like to, where I get to watch all the good ones and then give up after 20 movies because the other 30 aren't really worth watching. So I devised a foolproof plan so that I'll be able to do these in a random order. And the plan also matches the aesthetic of the channel here. Woo! Woo! Are you ready, guys? All right. Whoop. Alright, so the first review that you guys should be seeing later this week is going to be The Amazing Mr. X from 1948 and The Last Woman on Earth from 1960. So like I said, you guys should expect that sometime later this week, as well as you can pretty much expect at least one video each week, and there may be more depending on new releases and other stuff that I plan to do in the future. So if you're interested in, reviews and discussions of these movies and others, I ask you to, like this video, subscribe to the channel for more, and I just want to thank you all for watching, and have a good night.